Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Schlieffen, a tier 10 German battleship. I'm on the map Islands of Ice in a 3-point domination game. It's a pure tier 10 battle. And there is no carrier, which is quite lovely. So Schlieffen is relatively sneaky, so I've decided to go into the sea cap here. I've held my shots so far, but I can't resist the Yoshino and I'm detected anyway. So I've made it almost towards the cover. I want to be in the... 4 citadels, but the Yoshino survived. That was a good start. So the thing is, I need to reach that island to get a little bit of cover there. And then with my Hydro I can be a real threat. I also have torpedoes, which makes it hard for the enemy to push around and such. So I was in concealment once the enemy smoked up there, but now they are raiding me. I need to get a little bit closer to this island, because otherwise, right, there might be a lot of torpedoes and so coming this way. And there are a lot of ships shooting me. Now I'm a little bit too broadside here in my maneuvering, and I've got punished for it. It's okay. I've made it not exactly with the angle that I want to be here, but I'm close enough to the island and now I can maneuver. Now I have Viper and the Minotaur here with me. But there are a lot of enemies. There really are a lot of enemies here. Now we have a friendly Schlieffen that's for some reason relatively far in the back. We do have a Moscow here nicely positioned for some radar support. But you know, the thing is we can hold this position relatively nicely, I believe. Because, well, I have torpedoes, Viper has torpedoes, the Minotaur has torpedoes. The enemy will be relatively unwilling to push us here.
Torpedos direkt voraus.
So, let's just see how this concludes. Now, we don't have much spotting. We can see the Conqueror, and I'm still hydroing the Shimakaze. If the Shimakaze gets too nervous and leaves, that's gonna be good. So our Minotaur is now smoking up here, and he's basically probably trying to get to a position where he can farm some of those incoming enemies. And meanwhile, I'm just checking my torps. Because I am hoping, like I have this lovely gap here, and I am hoping a little bit that those battleships will push into a position where I can torp them. There was also the gearing. For a brief moment I thought the gearing might try something. Now, when you're this close to an island, there is always the threat of YOLO. And the destroyer decides, hey, I'll just rush around and torp everyone. But we do have a scary amount of firepower here, torps of our own. It shouldn't be so easy to YOLO us. Of course, my Hydro is soon gonna be out, and that not only will... Now well, like, the Minotaur still has a Hydro going. But it makes me feel definitely a lot less safe. So I'm maneuvering here, keeping an eye if those ships are gonna be pushing around here. And mostly I've realized that the Kurfürst is now coming around. So there is going to be some excitement like real soon. So my idea right now is to push this Kurfürst, because when you look at the minimap, basically almost all enemy ships are going here through the 9-10 line. So I can potentially get a 1 versus 1 with the Kurfürst, using this island as cover. So the Kurfürst is obviously having a nice idea with flanking us. And I mean, I can send some torps through here, let's do that. I'll keep the second torp launcher in reserve. I'm not sure if that's entirely necessary, but torps reload relatively slowly. And I want that second launcher in case I need it. My idea is to make... Oh, hello, gearing. See what I was saying about YOLO destroyer, that's obviously a threat here. Good thing is that the gearing isn't doing this so nicely. Okay, so I don't need my troops against the gearing. I ate a lot of damage, but that gearing is done for. He's gonna sink before he can reload his troops. And now, I have my troops on this side for the Kurfürst as originally planned. So the gearing almost threw me off there, but thankfully the gearing did not handle this perfectly. So I'll continue to angle a bit more against the Kurfürst. Also, I'm seeking cover against the ships behind me with the island behind me. Now there is the Yoshino. The island behind me is still protecting me. So the idea of the core first to come around flanking was on one hand a good one. The problem is that his support actually is a little bit delayed or isn't fast enough to create the crossfire and catch us, you know, from both sides. So basically I was able to like duel this curve, well, except for the gearing, I guess. The gearing almost ruined my entire plan. But in the end it worked out. I got the gearing, I got the core first, and the other ships still aren't in a position to actually engage. That's why I'm turning this way, because this way is right now the safest option. Also, this side still has a torp launcher ready. Now if those ships push around here, maybe I can eat them some fish. Conqueror coming around rather broadside. There are still some Yoshino torps here, but that's fine. Oh, nice citadel. So I'm gonna launch some torps this way. We'll see if anyone pushes it. Well, I mean, the Conqueror is gonna sink soon. The Vermont possibly too, and it doesn't look like Ether is moving forward. That's fine. You know, at this point, you might be thinking, oh, we just rolled right over the enemy team, right? When you look at the score right now, you'd think this battle lasts maybe another 20 seconds or so, and then it's gonna be glorious victory for our team. Yeah, this is World of Warships. This battle is not over. Trust me, it might look like way, but this battle is far from over. So, here comes the Petro. Now, I have to admit that at this point, I personally also thought this battle was basically over. And I might not have acted with the caution necessary. So, the Petro can Citadel, right? I could have already launched, yeah, I have 2 launchers ready, right? I'm waiting here way too long. I mean, I want to make sure that those torps hit. And, yeah. I mean, I got the Petro and I'm alive, but I took quite a bit of damage. I think I should have used 1 torp launcher a little bit earlier. Would have also handled my angling, my guns or so a little bit better. I mean, in the end, you know, it worked perfectly. In the sense that the Petro is dead and I'm still alive. But I think I could have minimized the damage I took by playing it a little bit smarter. So anyway. I'm up to 4 kills, boatload of damage, and now we're gonna grab this camp. Meanwhile, there's a Maso in the center. Let's see if I can get a hit into that. I'm still hoping for my Kraken here. But as you can see, the ships have... Well, that was unlucky. The number of ships has drastically changed. Points-wise, the enemy is still only at 75. But it's 5 against 3 now. It's no longer the massive lead that we had. And those 2 Ohios pushing in are relatively healthy. Well, okay, the one is at half health. The other one is relatively healthy. I feel like those... I mean, I didn't quite pay that much attention to what the Ohios did. But I feel like maybe they could have been a little bit more aggressive early on. I was sort of occupied with what happened on our side. I'm still rather amused by how it turned out. So I also used my last heal already because, well, I might have also been a little bit too fast on that one. I mean, I was on very low health and Schlieffen isn't the best armored. And there is, if they get plunging fire, they overmatch my, or part of my nose and so on. So I wanted to have the maximum of health when engaging them in a sense, but I could have potentially gotten more out of the seal if I had waited a little bit longer. Might have been a bit more risky though. So anyway, I'm out of heals entirely. I'm not getting any good shots at them, but hey, my secondaries are having quite a bit of fun. There's a Confederate. Can I get a salvo in there before it gets behind the island? We'll see. Not with that accuracy. Okay, so interestingly enough, I'm still alive. Although barely. It's 3 against 2 right now. So if the Ohio reverses back, I might have some torps coming his way. And oh, my secondary is actually engaged at Ohio. I should be shooting this right now. I'm making a mistake here. I'm not sure if I could lob shells over there, but I really should have tried. As soon as my secondary started shooting, I should have checked if my main guns can. And now I'm playing detected. Yeah, now it's a bit late. So those planes are gonna be potentially an issue. Oh, we've got a strike team. So the Ohio unfortunately is healing and has damage counter fires. Now, how do I do this, right? Ideally, I would find a position where I can engage that Ohio again, maybe with secondaries as such. But here's the problem, I'm once again plane detected. Right now, I should have immediately maybe slowed down or did something, but because the Ohio came around here, and the Ohio saw me because of the plane, and that means he was pre-aimed and obviously shot me before I could react to anything. Without this plane, I mean, maybe the same thing would have happened, but maybe I could have had time to launch some torps against the Ohio. So once again, not ideally handled on my part, I guess, but hey. It's now a 2 versus 2. Remember when we had like, when we had only lost like 3 ships and the enemy was barely alive? Yeah, they turned this one around. Oh, our Schlieffen just got hit majorly there. So the enemy Ohios are playing this relatively smart in the sense that they know that they need to stop the points gain, so they've split up. The Ohio that was on low health retreated to take an objective, while the Ohio that was pretty healthy focused our Schlieffen. The problem, of course, that the Ohio has is called Viper. Viper does have some nice, lovely fish for that Ohio. The Ohio took care of that Schlieffen, but Viper's torps are gonna take care of him. And this basically makes this a one-on-one battle. And the thing is that the enemy Ohio can't do anything because, well, I mean, what's he gonna do, right? When you think about it, we just have way too many points. He has no chance of ever detecting Viper. Now let's speed this up while... I mean, the enemy Ohio has no chance of ever detecting Viper, right? Unless Viper screws up. So what the Ohio tries to do is take camps away from us, but with our points lead, that's just way too high. There is absolutely nothing he can do. So this is a win, let's just go to the results. So here we are with the results, and I had a pretty great game. I got almost 3000 base experience, almost 300,000 damage, and almost a Kraken. A lot of almosts there. But anyway, in the end it was that we held the caps most of the game that basically won us the game, right? Because the enemy turned it around on ships, but we had such a points lead that they didn't manage to come back. So yeah, this battle was a lot of fun to play, and I have to say, like, at the start, the fight around the island was just absolutely glorious. And, you know, this is why I love brawling battleships, you know? It's just so much fun in engagements like that. Unfortunately, they don't happen that often. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.